What is going on, guys? Today, we're going to be talking about drive lines. As I've said before, I am not a drive shaft expert. I'm not a slip yoke expert. But this is what I'm learning so far, and I want to share with you guys because this is expensive. You guys might have seen my other drive shaft video. It was expensive, yeah. And a little bit of knowledge come from that, but I'm also kind of wondering where to go from here. This can actually, you guys can help me out on this a lot too. This kind of be like a back and forth video. You guys can leave your comments. If you know, please leave comments, fill me in. I'm going to kind of show you what I'm working with here. To start with, I'm using a slip yoke that has a spring in it. Ooh, we'll talk about that a little bit later. I don't see a difference. Obviously one has a spring. There's a difference, all right? I don't see any other difference other than that. But like I said, we'll get into that a little bit later. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I got a slip yoke right here. And majority of the time, one manufacturer makes these slip yokes. I have one from a big company in Vegas. I have another one from a big company in Texas. Guess what? They're both the same. One has a name etched in it, and the other doesn't. As far as everything else, they're the exact same. Micrometer doesn't lie. So, chances are they're being made in one place, distributed, branded, normal. That's business. Not bashing anybody. That's how it goes. If you're going to spend all day machining one part versus paying a couple pennies on the dollar to get thousands of parts, you're going to do the pennies on the dollar if you're in business. That's how businesses are. Anyways, we're getting back to the subject here. Kind of trying to touch on what the problem I have. Let me bring you in on a slip yoke and I'll kind of explain what we got going on. All right, right now the car is lifted up. I got about 7 inches on the stroke. So we'll say it's lifted about 7 inches. We got 6 and 5/16 basically between where the spring seat's at. Up here and back here. That's how I measured it, just to keep it simple. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this on video. I have a feeling I might have to go get a dial indicator or something. But hopefully you can see that wobble. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. That's a huge amount of wobble in a drive shaft, And this is compressed. I'll give you a measurement of it fully extended. I want to say it was like 7 3/4. No, 7 16 is what it is. So it is compressed a little bit. It needs to be more, obviously, to get that slip out. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to lift it up a little bit more, and we'll try and get rid of all that blue there. And you'll definitely see that it has a lot less wobble in it. Alright, so this is how a slip yoke comes. Basically just pulled out of the box. This is it. As I said, this is one with a spring. As you can see right there, there's a little set screw. There is a machine section right there that set screw rides in. And what it does is it obviously allows this not all to pop apart. Because if that set screw wasn't in there, this would all come apart. It is under a little bit of tension right now. It's nothing like major, but yeah, it's definitely compressed. So we're going to go ahead and take this apart. I measured from here to here, there, and it is 7 1/16. So I'm going to take this spring apart, I'm going to fully collapse it, and that'll tell us how much slip this thing has, the max slip that it can possibly get. Alright, I don't exactly recommend doing this, just if you do, kind of use a little bit of common sense maybe. Doesn't take much. Actually, I'm going to pull that all the way out. That way, slam a spring over it, and we can lose our set screw. How about that? That would be fun. And there we have it. It's in 2 pieces now. Void your warranty, probably. Alright, so as you see, there's our spline. This is where the machine part is. You can see a little ridge right there. Hopefully you can see that. That right there is so that set screw hits it and it won't travel out any further. And that's what's stopping it. It doesn't have it here because obviously this is designed to compress further. So our full compression, as you can see, that little retainer ring there is crooked. Poor quality control. I think it's just a sleeve that slides over there. I'm actually gonna tap that right now with a brass punch because I think that'll go further. All right, couldn't get it go any further. If I had a press, I do have a press. If I was to put it in the press, it probably would go a little bit further, but it's hot and I'm not gonna mess with that. So anyways, we're basically gonna go with 2 3/4 is what it looks like. It fully compressed, slips down to. So let's find out what the difference of that is. All right, so that basically boils down to, a little over 4¼ inches of travel, which is a pretty good bit of travel. But if you have vibrations and you have to bring this back in to compensate for those vibrations, you're losing a lot of your travel. You're kind of almost back in the realms of a stock slip on a transmission. So this is the car laid out. Suspension fully compressed. Slip yoke fully extended. And we can crawl in here. We'll get a measurement. That is at about 6 13/16, best I can tell from this angle. So we're not very compressed. You see all that wobble that we got? Believe it or not, that will make a hell of a racket. Ask me how I know. Alright, now we are fully locked up, not chained. This car has 16-inch cylinders. We're at full lockup of 16 inches. You can see we still got a little bit more room for compression, which is pretty cool because I actually thought we were bottomed out. So we're at 2.5, which is kind of surprising. I thought we were completely bottomed out, but we're pretty close to it. So there's not really a whole lot of room for error there. So that basically used all of our slip, every bit of it. Now, you can do this one of two ways. This is kind of where I'm on the fence at. Obviously, I'm not going to have this car using full lockup. I'm chaining it down to 3-wheel. I know everybody's like, oh, we're using chains for 3 wheels. Whatever, we're not on that subject. That's for another video. There are different things I could do. Once again, kind of for another video. This car has drop mounts on the uppers. They're dropped 5 inches. The upper trailing arms, I want to say they're 1 inch extended. They're collapsed all the way, but I believe they're 1 inch longer than stock. Well, I'll have to measure that to find out, but I'm almost positive. Could do drop downs on the lowers. Didn't do that. It's still kind of an option. But the car is working the way I want it to work right now. We do have a soft spring in it. That's kind of why it's chained at what it's chained. I got chained down like 4 inches, I think. So losing a good bit of lift. Just straight up lifting. Yes, that's where we'll go into another video about that. My main question is, where do I go from here? I could extend the drive shaft, basically compress the slip yoke more to get that vibration out, get that play out of it. And I won't be utilizing all the full potential of the slip because I won't need it per se if I have it chained off. But what happens if chain breaks, something like that, owner jacks it up, keeps on jacking, not realizing, hey, chain broke, this thing's going way higher than it normally does. Possibly break the transmission mount, or even worse, bend the drive shaft or destroy a tail shaft of the transmission. So do I build it to function, not vibrate, build the drive really good, possibility risk if a chain breaks? Or do I make it fully functional, fully travelable, but when you're laid out, more likely to have a vibration? Seeing as the car will probably be driven laid out or just tapped up just a little bit, that's going to be quite an annoyance. Ask me how I know. Alright, so the car is lifted. You got about, I think, 10.5 inches worth of stroke sticking out. So it's lifted up a pretty decent amount. Not really my most desirable cruising height, I would say. Our slip is at, from what I can see with the camera in the way, it's about 5 1/8, 5 1/16, somewhere around there. So we started out at 7 1/16, so we got 2 inches of spline inside that yoke. And got a little bit of play. It really ain't much. You guys probably won't be able to see that. This is where I should have put a dial indicator on here. But yeah, it's got a little bit. I don't really think that's enough to cause any kind of vibrations or noise. There is going to be some slip in this, obviously. It does have a grease fitting, which, kind of fills the void in there. It does help a little bit, but really does not help at, when this is fully extended. And that's the problem I'm running into. So here's the drive shaft out of the car with the slip yoke. And it measures the same. See if you can see there. 7 1/16. So the extended measurement is the same. There's the other slip yoke too, just in case you maybe thought that was the same slip. It's not. Here's a funny little thing too. That one you probably seen had some tape on it, had the logo on it from the manufacturer. These were bought from the same place. So in the name of science, almost lost it. We're gonna take this one apart too. That way I can be 100% sure on the full collapse measurement. Because at the moment, we're pretty freaking close to maxing it out. And the weird thing is, my numbers on paper and my numbers here, that's a lot of play, are not really adding up. Will this be tall enough to support that? Yes, it will. Cool, about that. Alright, where is our set screw at? You guys are going to have to deal with the fan because it's freaking hot. Man, been trying to deal without it. You can probably see in the video, I've been getting sweater and sweater as we go. Press that just a hair. Turn that just a hair to line up when we compress it. Just like that. Drop it on the floor. That would be cool. So far everything looks the same. Springs are the same. Get our collapse measurement here. 2.5. So yeah. There we go. Let's go back and see what the other one was, because I'm almost positive it was 2 3/4. And this one, this little ring is seated all the way. So you would honestly figure this one would be more, but it is not. So that's not good. We can just measure our other one right here. Ah, how about that? Yep, 2 3/4. So, this one has a little bit more slip than this one. Came from the same people. Different parts, apparently. As I said, kind of name of the deal, you know, if you can get it already made and make a buck on it, that's really the route to go. Not saying they're bad, they are really nicely built. I've never really had any issues of them other than that little bit of play, which I'm trying to remedy here. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to get a video clip of your car driving by at 60 miles an hour without a bunch of excessive noise. It's pretty hard. Try it. I know most of you guys probably say, like, put a GoPro on the car. Wind noise. Thought about that. I brought a wind resistant mic. It works okay in like a slight breeze as long as it's right on you. I got a demon clip. I'll throw in the video, I guess. I was gas hopping past it, and the devil sounds like a demon in it. It doesn't do too good on picking up sounds from far away. But yeah, that's the sound I'm having. There seems to be a sweet spot. You know, if I drive it right now, it doesn't make any noise. If I lift it up about 2 clicks, maybe 3 clicks, doesn't make any noise. Anything higher than that makes noise until I get to about 14 inches of travel, I'd say. 14 from there on up doesn't make any noise, and that's because the slip yoke has moved back up. Yes, it's because the slip yoke's moved back up. When my suspension travels, say this is like the side of my rear end, when my car is all the way down, my pinion is dead straight. When I lift it up, my pinion kicks back. When it goes up higher, actually my pinion kicks back quite a bit. As the car goes up, my pinion gets straighter and straighter and straighter, and then goes down just a little bit. I don't know why I was winking there. My eyes are watering. But yeah, that's what it does. And when it kicks back like that,
it pulls the slip yoke out further, and it's just past that little threshold, which isn't really that much. I do have a spacer in the front of my drive shaft to help push it back a little bit. I was having problems with the front yoke that goes into the drive shaft tearing out the seals, and that's why I put that spacer in there. And like I said, my drive shaft shop guy, he told me, he's like, I got to push this thing in like 2 inches to get it to not have any run out and rotate true. But at that point, you're at a stock slip. So what's the point? So hopefully, if any of you guys, well, I say hopefully you guys, I hope you guys don't have this problem. But if you guys do have this problem, and you found a remedy for it, let me know. Looked in a few different places. I actually, before making this video like a week, I've been trying to make this video for like a week. Well, I've been trying to make this video for a lot longer than a week. I've been trying to make this section for a week. As you can see, the weather is wonderful. It's like the only second I have that doesn't have wind or rain. But yeah, right before that, I seen a guy on Facebook shared a post for an Impala that he's building a drive shaft from, and he found a drive shaft that has like 22 inches of slip, and I'm considering that. I definitely am. It's rather expensive, but I drive my car, and I'd rather not sound like it's about to grenade as I'm going down the road. Yeah, so I don't know, possibilities. But I don't know. I've thought about ditching the spring. I really don't think the spring's the issue, but it might be. I've heard of guys welding the nut on the tail shaft or the output shaft of the transmission, drilling a hole through the front yoke that goes in the transmission on the drive shaft, putting a 5/16 bolt through it. My only question is, doesn't it leak? Because you're putting a hole in your slip. And all the times that I've destroyed my tail shaft seal, it leaked really bad and it puts a smoke show on. And I don't want that happening. I finally remedied that problem. So maybe hopefully somebody can reach out and kind of give me some ideas to go, because I'm kind of at a dead end other than that really big slip. But I don't know. We'll see. Let me know. Appreciate you guys watching. As I say always, you won't know what you can do till you try. Might destroy a drive shaft. Haven't yet. Maybe tomorrow.